Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Victoria-Monique and I'm here to help you and to love you back into trust. Trust in life, trust in yourself, and trusting in the fact that you are a powerful creator. So you came to the right place. Today, I'm answering a viewer's question, and it was based on a short that I posted, and the question is this. So the short was about, are you waiting for your manifestation to pop into your existence? Then here's what you need to do. And the short version of what I said in the short was, if you're waiting, then it means that you're not in the vibration, because waiting means I don't have it now. And now I have to open my screen again. And so the question was from Spimo 178. In Dutch you say it the other way around, so that's why I had to think. How to deal with urgency, like having rent or bills to pay on a specific date. So this video is for you, and I'm pretty sure that more people deal with this, and I've definitely dealt with it as well. So that's why I have some valuable insights for you. Before I go into what you can do specifically, I want to come back first to setting the frame. So the frame that I'm coming from has been taught to me by the likes of Bashar, Seth, who is channeled or was channeled because she doesn't live anymore, by a woman called Jane Roberts, the teachings of Neville Goddard, the Council by Sarah Landon. So, and this frame is this. Everything is happening now at this moment. There's no past, there's no future, there's only the now. And everything that we experience now has been created from thoughts, feelings, and beliefs held longer over time. So Neville would say that you are in a state, and the state is finished, meaning to a certain state belongs a life experience. So let's say a state of everything always goes wrong in my life. That's a state. So what will you experience? A lot of things. Well, everything actually, because I just said everything always goes wrong in my life. Everything going wrong. The state of lucky. A lot of things. Probably not everything, because we came here on planet Earth for the contrast. That's the game of life. But for the sake of this argument, your state is I'm always lucky. You will be always lucky. You will be always lucky. So knowing that you create your past from what you're thinking and feeling now, and your future from what you're thinking and feeling now. And I also want to give you this formula, for lack of a better term. So first you have a thought. From the thought, your body gets an emotion. That emotion held longer over time. There's no time, but like otherwise I can't have a conversation. But an emotion held longer becomes a feeling. And a feeling held longer becomes your dominant vibration or your state. The state creates. Your vibration creates. It determines your life experience. So which means that whatever you are experiencing now, so let's say I don't have enough money to pay my rent. I don't have enough money at this moment, at this very moment, to pay my bills in time. It means it has been created from a vibration of lack. I don't have enough. Also, a side note, which is an important one, nothing has gone wrong. You are not to blame. Everything that you are experiencing is here to get you into new levels of your power. So nothing has gone wrong, really. No judgment. This is all a learning experience. Yeah, so that's really important to know, because we can beat ourselves up for stuff like this. Like, how could I be so stupid? Nah, 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 nah. But we're not playing that game anymore. We're playing a new game. We are playing the game of I'm the god of my reality, and I know how reality actually works, and I have the tools, and I'm going to put these tools to use. Okay. So, everything that you're experiencing now comes from a state, a vibration that you have been having over a longer period of time, for lack of a better term. So if I would go full Bashar on you, it's actually, you have Bashar explains that physical reality is a film strip. You can liken it to a film strip. There's no movement in time. There are only different scenes. And so you just keep picking the same scene that you're experiencing. He also says, it is your consistency of self-definition that makes it seem that there is no fast change happening. So if your self-definition is constantly the one of, let's say, I don't have enough money to pay my bills, because you keep seeing it and you keep believing that what you're seeing is true without realizing that it was actually created from a state that has been held continuously, from a film strip item that you have been choosing continuously, because that's how it's been created. So if you decide, hey, wait a minute, I understand how it works, and I think I really get it now, and I'm willing to risk that this is actually true because I have nothing to lose and I have so much to gain, I can now decide to not be that person anymore, that person that never has enough to pay their bills, that always has to struggle for money. I now decide to be someone else, and how you do that, I will get there in a bit. I now decide to become that person, and you put in the work to constantly remind yourself of the new person you've decided to be, which is the person that always has more than enough to pay their bills. And if that's too big of a jump, if it's more than enough, just enough to pay their bills. And from that point you work on. Like, I don't care, it's your choice, it's your life, and you can do whatever you want. And I would say, don't make the jump too big, because your nervous system isn't ready for it yet. That's a belief, but I can kind of from experience tell you that a nervous system, we have a physical body. We have a physical body, and the physical body needs to be on board. And if your nervous system is not primed yet for an experience that is like, let's say, 8 steps further instead of 2 steps further, then your body will put on the brake, because it's like, oh, this is too scary for me. It's like, so I'm not a skier or a snowboarder, but I've done it, I've tried it. It was a very interesting experience. It was super cool. But so when you go snowboarding for the first time, you don't go off the black piste. You do not. If you want to keep living physical life after your ski holiday, right? You don't go off the black piste. You first go off the, I don't know, kiddie, and then I think it's, I don't know, I will mess this up, so I'm not going to go into the terminology. But anyway, you take steps. So, and that's what I also recommend with regards to choosing a state. So I would say maybe go to the self definition. I'm so happy I have enough to pay my bills. I have enough to pay my bills, and not necessarily I'm a millionaire, because it is possible for sure. The question is, can you keep yourself there when it happens? Won't you freak out energetically and then crash and burn? You know? So, okay, your consistency of self definition determines how quickly or how slowly you will see a change in your physical reality. So, then, how do you change your self definition? You already said to me, dear asker of the question, you already said to me that you are a student of, I think you said affirmations, and you mentioned a couple of other things. So you also know that it's with affirmations that you can change your self concept. And it isn't enough to do just, I don't know how long and how often you do it, but apparently it isn't enough because you're experiencing what you're experiencing. Now, another thing could be going on. And this is so I do sessions with people as well. And someone was have kind of a similar stressing out, and it was around money. And she said, and I've been affirming so much, and how come this is happening? And she was angry with herself because she didn't see the results she wanted to see. Well, first of all, if you take your physical reality seriously, then you already lost a couple of points, so to speak, because physical reality is after the fact. What you're experiencing now is after the fact. It is not true until you believe it to be true. So it doesn't mean ignore and don't pay your bills because physical reality isn't true. What it means is it's old news. And if you have been working on affirming the new man, if you have been working on changing your self-concept, changing your state, your self-definition, then you know, and maybe you don't, but I can tell you, something is already changing. You might not see it yet. It will, for sure, pop into your reality because there is no other way. That is how physical reality works. So to this girl, I also said, when you paint a wall, let's say you have a white wall and you paint it purple. But at one point you're just like, you know what, I'm over it. I'm gonna stop painting. I'm doing the rest tomorrow or next week or whatever. The parts that you have been painting, not all of a sudden turn white again. They're still purple. The only thing left to do is paint that little piece that's still white. And this is also what's happening in your physical reality if you know that you have been affirming lots. And how do you know? Because you know that your dominant feeling state is one of trust, is one of I've got this, is one of yeah, I don't see it now, but I know that it's coming. And if you sometimes have dips of, fuck, it's not happening, nothing has gone wrong. Really, it is time for all of us not to take physical reality so seriously because it seriously isn't serious. We came here to play a game of life. And when you connect dots backwards and look at your life and all the magic that you have been experiencing up until now, and maybe even today, you know that I'm telling you the truth. So whenever you see something really real, like bills that you need to pay, but you're like, I don't have the money for it now, or something else money-wise, or whatever it is, but we're speaking money now, so let's keep the topic at money. You feel this visceral feeling in your body, and then you can say to yourself, hey, wait a minute. No, I know this is old news. So-and-so told me so, because there are a lot of YouTubers that have a lot of information on this. Victoria-Monique told me so, and I know, because you feel that it's true. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be listening to this video. You know there's a truth to it. The only thing that is not happening yet consistently is your 100% fully trust that it really works this way. So now your question probably is, yes, all well and nice, but tomorrow I have to pay my bills and I have zero in my bank account. Okay, so there are a couple of things you can do. If you are able to get yourself really calm and centered, and probably also just cry, let it out. Just release tears, release stress. My God, when I'm panicking, I just let it all go. I let it all go. I feel a relief. And from that point, I know I'm in my creation, in my desired creation mode again. Yeah? So first make sure that you release what needs to be released. You can also punch a pillow. You can go and do extreme intense exercise when your body is fit for it. So don't do it when you're not fit at all and all of a sudden you have a torn whatnot and you send me a message like, hey, thanks for the tip. No, it's your responsibility. So do whatever you need to do to release this resistance, release this energy, and then sit down in meditation. And meditation doesn't mean silent, right? Meditation is just calmness, a still mind, no distractions, focused. Get out a pen and a paper, or do it in your mind. I would say do both, because that's what I like. Write down what it is that you would love to experience. And also call in your higher self, your angels, your helpers, whatever it is you believe in, because you're not alone, dude. You are not. You are not doing this alone. You are doing this with a higher self and an inner being, whatever your belief is. Potato, potato. Some say God, some say Allah, some say all that is, some say the universe. I don't give a shit how you call it. You're not doing this alone. Okay. So speak to that part of you and say, dude, dudette, angel, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Aziakiel, whoever, God, goddess, I need your help. I'm kind of freaking out, and I know that I'm here with you and you're supposed to help me. I don't know. Please help. What might happen is this, and I've experienced it and I've seen it happen. Out of the blue, you might receive money from someone. Out of the blue, you get inspiration of where you can get the money for now until you get back on your feet again. Out of the blue, they might even say, hey, we made a mistake. You don't have to pay for this now. Like, dudes, we do life the magical way, not the logical way. So anything is possible. You have to be open to receiving this whatever is possible. If you shut the mental door, if you shut the door and say, this is real, I don't have money, I will never be able to pay my bills on time, you shut the door. You already made up your mind. That's it. And when you shut the energetic door, nothing can help you. So it's about calming yourself down, trusting that you're not in this alone. You are not in this alone. You have a whole team and they are waiting to help you, because this is the thing. They cannot step in if you don't allow them to step in. They cannot. Those are the rules, because that would be forcing something upon your personality. This is a co-creation between you and your higher self. Bashar explains it like this. The higher self is on a mountaintop. The personality is in the valley. The higher self speaks to the personality through inspiration. Abraham Hicks calls it the inner being, and maybe Bashar even as well, but it doesn't really matter for the point of this story. And so whenever you get inspiration, like for instance, for the person that I'm making this video for, Spimo, I forgot it. My apologies. But you got the inspiration to ask me about this. And I intend for you to get so much clarity through this video and so much trust again through this video that you instantly feel yourself calm down, center, feel that trust, and am open again to communicate with your higher self. Maybe you call it different, and it doesn't matter how you call it. What matters is that you know that you're not in it alone. You are not in it alone. You are not. You are so extremely loved and appreciated. You are even so loved and appreciated that you're allowed to think that you are not loved and appreciated. Unconditional love. So everything you say is true? Yeah, you're right, it's true. Because you say so. I mean, how cool is that? Because that goes in all directions. So also, if you start claiming, you know what? I'm the fucking shit. And I have tons of money. And yes, you might not believe it in the beginning, but I can tell you, this will be true for you. Just keep repeating it. Just keep repeating it. Just keep repeating it. So for now, what I would do is think up a scenario that would give you relief, and which is probably rent and bills paid on time. Feel the feeling of it. Repeat the affirmations of it, however you want to say this to yourself. I am so happy that by magic I was able to pay my bills on time, and that magic might even be the inspiration to ask for help from a friend, not from panic. Panic is inspiration from the wrong state of being. From your higher self, calm inspiration, you can ask someone to help you out for a month. And you might say, that's cheating and that's not how. No, because everything is God. Everything is God. All the people in your life are part of your creation too. So also people that do have money that can help you in this moment. And then what you will do, so I gave you a couple of options, right? Like be open to magic. And if you're like, okay, I can't get there, ask someone to help you. They will be, because there is help somewhere. I can tell you, you will never let yourself down. You won't. That's not part of the game. The game is this. You know what you want and you get out of the way. The how has never been up to you, and you know that. The how is not up to you. So stick with your affirmations. Get the urgency of things, because it only creates more urgency and panic in your nervous system. And I will make a different video on this nervous system topic, because it's a really good and important one. And I've actually never heard anyone speak about it but Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he speaks about it in a different way. So I'm going to make a video about this. Because if I'm going to go to that topic now, this video is going to be 40 minutes, and that's a bit too long for my taste. So what I would do is calm yourself down. No, what you are experiencing, it is old news. You've been putting in the work and you fucking deserve to have it easy. Come on. You're worthy. You're worthy of having it easy. You're worthy of having enough money and even way more than enough. You're worthy of it. You are. You're here playing the game of life. And we have an agreement. We have an agreement with all that is, with our higher selves, that we would come here playing this game and we would co-create. We wouldn't do it alone. We would do it with the other parts. And the other parts can only come in when we get out of the way. And they can only come in when we stop focusing on shit that we don't want. So, to conclude, don't give your power away. What you're experiencing now is old news. You've got this. Keep affirming and open yourself to magic. And I will see you in the next video. And tell me if it was helpful. Sending you so much love. Sending everyone that's watching this a lot of love. Oh, and if you want to work with me, I'm just going to put some things in the description. That's it. Peace out.